Hey everybody! Oh my gosh, let me change this light to push it down a little bit more. All right, how are we, Sharon?
I think we're good on that.
All right. Hey guys,
Hey.
We are on. Oh my gosh, this is the first time that I have done YouTube Live, so forgive me.
We're gonna figure this out, and we're about to do Facebook Live at the same time.
Yes.
So you guys are actually getting like behind the scenes.
I'm so excited about this. So I've never done YouTube Live. This is like my first YouTube Live for everybody that's gonna be following me and looking at this and like wondering what the hell is going on. Oh gosh. Are we live?
We're live.
Yay!
Hello everyone.
Hey.
Another day of inspired conversations with me, Sharon Gutierrez, with Compliments of Sharon, and the beautiful
Tiffany Fambro of Build Body Wealth.
Yes. So you guys, we're actually doing YouTube Live too, so that's what that whole thing is.
Right.
I was like, like seeing myself from so many different angles. It's super fun. But so today we're having another episode of Inspired Conversations.
Yes.
And I love the title of that because it is legit. We talk all the time. Like we talk all the time, and I love our conversations. They're so like high vibe, high level, big picture. There's like just so much energy and challenge, and it's just like we hit to the heart of these topics like over and over again. And so we decided that we're going to. Did we decide, or did I just decide? I think I just had an executive.
We decided, or it was me. We decided
that we would like, let's do these conversations, let's hold them on live and call them Inspired Conversations.
Yes.
And so, well, the topic for today is super fun, but it's also a little bit vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like our whole thing right now. And it is about the sparkle. Like, I've been called glittery and sparkly lots of times. And actually for like speaking engagements, especially, like, oh, I needed someone that was really glittery. And so we're gonna call you something. Glittery? Like, okay. I mean, I get that.
If you say so. But, you know, glittery is better than a witch.
Okay.
It's better than that.
No, it's so true. And so, like, that's kind of just become part of my brand, part of who I am. I embrace it. I lean into it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glittery and sparkly. My nails are most of the time anyway. But it really is that. I think it's just that kind of sparkle, that energy that shines through. And I think that's, like, what people are referring to.
Yes.
And I know myself pretty well. And so when I show up, I show up. And I think I'm very consistent, like when it's in person versus live versus on a stage, it tends to be a very similar energy of me showing up authentically and just being like, hey, like I do have a lot of energy when I don't have energy, because I am an actually natural introvert. When I don't have energy, I am not doing a live or conversation or speaking. Like I just like kind of like go into sleep mode, and I'm like, like I just need to curl up. So Tiffany, let's talk about that. Like when we're talking about like the sparkle and the shine, like we recently offline had a conversation about feeling a little bit like dull, like you know. So what does that mean to you?
Well, I've been going through I feel like a metamorphosis for a last couple of years. And for those of you who don't know a lot about me, I got divorced about 3 years ago. And so that was a huge change for me. And there's anybody that goes through a divorce, whether it was a spouse or even just a partner, it takes a lot. And it takes a lot of emotionally, but it literally takes a lot physically. Like you're chopping up your life. You're selling stuff off. You're moving around. And so after I got divorced, I was supposed to have this shared. I was supposed to have an Eat, Pray, Love trip that never happened. I was supposed to like go to Italy and I'm just going to go off and find myself. But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
What happened was I got right back into work mode. I was like, oh, you know what? Got divorced. Let me take this energy and put it into my business and let's get this going. And I've been doing that for the last 3 years. I've been doing a lot of stuff and literally holding. But I have not really been focused on my joy. I mean, I work out and that's fun, but I haven't really. The whole point of the Eat, Pray, Love trip is to find your sparkle. Is to come back to that space where it's like, okay, I'm going to set some intentions. I'm going to dig a little deeper. I'm just going to kind of heal. And so for me, I have literally just been like in a holding pattern. I have not dated Sharon. I don't mind saying it. I
Okay.
have not went on one date since I got divorced. And I think a big part of it, I was like, that's not my focus. I'm focused on my business. I'm
Yeah.
focused on this. But part of dating, part of engaging with people, part of just doing fun things, that's part of the sparkle.
Yeah.
That's part of the energy. That's part of looking at your life and like, okay, I feel good today. I can do this. And it's really, really hard to run a business successfully if you wake up and you feel like I got work to do.
Yeah.
Versus I want to do this, or I have this joy, or I feel light and I feel airy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know so many women like me, Sharon, I was telling you this.
Yeah.
We're in the same boat. It's like they're doing the do. They're going to work. They're making their careers work. They're even getting promoted. They're excelling. So on the outside, it looks like they're doing really well.
Yeah.
On the outside, they look really strong. On the outside, they're accomplishing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But on the inside, it's just like,
Well, I think it's a really natural and common occurrence, though. I mean, I think for a lot of women and men, both of us, I think I legit was just having this conversation with a guy the other day, so I know it's from men too. So, but we like go into that mode because it's a safe zone. Yeah. It really is. It's something that we can do well, we can excel at it, but it doesn't necessarily. It isn't all encompassing in the way that it brings us sparkle. It brings us like that next level of joy because you have to have harmony within things, and especially for like ambitious, high achievers, right? Like we tend to kind of like that's the comfort zone. That's while it seems like super fast paced or a lot, for some people, for some of us, it's like that's like a nice natural cadence of like I know I can kill it in this arena. But then what happens is you start to get run down, but you can still perform. Mm-hmm. But there's that extra piece, and that's the thing we say, that sparkle, that glitter, that extra oomph that starts to kind of come up missing. Yes. And so I know recently you've been I'm starting to see it kind of come out even more. Like, I'm not going to lie. I've been like, wait, hold up. Tiffany getting her groove back. Like, what's that all about?
Okay. You never know. Yeah, it's been about me like really sitting and saying, okay, I'm ready to let go. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally, I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to relax. I'm ready to just enjoy this journey. And it really is a journey, especially when you're building a business. It's like you don't know all the ins and outs of it. And then for me, it's also enjoying myself. Mm-hmm. Like getting back to what brought me joy. And Sharon, I shared this with you. When I think back to what gave me what I call the sparkle, what made me feel good was when I was competing. Mm-hmm. When I was on stage, when I was doing what I loved every day, even though I was going through a lot at the time, when I was in that space, when I was working out, when I was fit, when I was on stage, that was my joy. That was not just my joy, it was my sparkle. Mm-hmm. Like I felt different, I came different, I showed up different, and you could see it in my energy. Yeah. And so I'm not saying I want to compete again, but I want to take myself back to that free-flowing, light, airy, joyful space where I'm so focused on just having a good time that it shows. And I think that when you're going through something for so long, and I know a lot of women can relate, it's like you have a long to-do list and you become like this, like a worker bee. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just got to get the work done and I got to grind it out and I got to be hard and you just kind of lose that free-flowing energy.
They call it hustle porn.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we kind of like glamorize that like piece of it, where it's like, yeah, grind it out. But like, I mean, I think a huge shift for me, honestly, and that's kind of like that whole sparkle thing for me and like that kind of extra layer of energy is that it doesn't, like we were just talking about this, it doesn't have to be complicated. Yes. It can be work without being complicated or take extraordinary amounts of energy and effort. And actually, when there's not like, there's only effort when there's resistance to what we're doing, right? And so, but something we can put in the work without it actually taking a lot of extra effort. And so when you can switch out of that mode of just like, I'm just going to grind it out for the sake of freaking grinding it out because I don't actually want to deal with my life for 2 seconds. I mean, come on now. Like, it's like if we slow it down, then we actually have to deal with things and feel things, and that's not always super fun. And so, but when we can actually like switch gears and do things that we enjoy, right, have fun. We went to the car show the other day, and it was like, to me, like that was like all like I was literally telling someone like, oh, what'd you do? I'm like, I went to the car show. And we're like, okay, cool. And I'm like, no, you don't understand, guys. Like, I got up early on a Sunday because I very much value my sleep and I do not get enough of it. And I went and I looked cute and I had my coffee and I went and looked at some fancy ass and I had fun. And so I was just so excited, but that energy, just that thing that I really do enjoy doing, like that has carried me for the last few days. You know what I mean? And so, and that's what brings that next level and brings that inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And so honestly, the more time that I see myself putting into doing those things, the more energy and the more high vibe I can show up in every other area of my life.
And then Sharon, something else that helps me sparkle is when I step outside my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and again, it's like something inside of me says, do something different. Do something different. Like, do something that makes you a little afraid, right? Do something that brings up a little bit of fear, a little bit of maybe excitement / anxiety, not in a bad way, but just something that you would not normally do. Something you probably wouldn't tell your mom you did, but something where it's kind of on the edge for you, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some women is wearing red lipstick. Maybe for some women is wearing high heel shoes. I don't know what that is for you.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it is, step out there. Do something that kind of scares you and excites you at the same time. Because one thing I think, Sharon, a lot of times I was telling you, what attracted me to my ex was that he had that sparkle, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had that high-flying energy, and it was attractive because I didn't have it at the time.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what we see in others that we enjoy about them is what we really want in ourselves. It's a reflection of what we desire. So we attract that person to us. But I think that we attract them to us, not just for the fun of being around them, but also so maybe we can actually get some of that confidence, get some of that energy, get some of that courage to do some of the things and step outside of ourselves. Because all the people that I've ever met that I felt like had the sparkle, had the joy, had the shine, were people who were willing to do what others won't do.
Ooh.
People who are willing to go the mile that others won't go. Mm-hmm. And I was telling you, Sharon, when I used to compete, I would get on stage. Right before I got on stage, I was sweating. My hands were sweating. Like I was like shaking all over. I was scared.
Yeah.
But it was that moment of me stepping outside of my comfort zone that gave me the most excitement. And they gave me that sparkle.
Yeah, I love that because it's so true. Well, they say I love this. I have to say thank you to Lynn Howard because she taught me this like a few years ago. But like anxiety and excitement are like they come from the same place. It's how we choose to look at it, and then so how we channel that energy. And then I've heard it like 1,000 times since then. But like she really just like honed it in for me, and I was like, okay, because I'm just like a naturally excitable, anxious person. Like, so I am. Like, I think that's honestly very good. Like, a certain amount of my energy is like this, like, kind of like, like, what's going to happen? Like, and I was like, is it good or bad? Good or bad? Like, I can't decide, like, how I feel about anything. So I'm like, okay, I'm choosing to be excited and choosing to lean into it. And that, for me, has been a shift. But it's a conscious decision. It's not something that just happens. And so when we talk about like fear being part of it and like doing that thing that kind of scares you a little bit, like it should. They say that if it's not scaring you, if your goal doesn't scare you or your dream doesn't scare you, then it's not big enough.
Right.
You know, you got to lean a little bit farther into it or else, you know, what are you really doing?
And Sharon, you know, one thing that I love about you, your personality, you pull it out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you take people and you push them and you ask them the question like, what is that sparkle? What is it that's bringing you to that edge?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're around people who are very similar to you all the time, like nothing changes. Like, because if you guys are doing the same thing, if you're going to the same places, if you're working at the same space, it's like, oh, what you do today, Bob? Oh, I didn't do anything. Oh, how's your weekend? Oh, it was great. I mean, it's the same. So sometimes you need somebody from the outside to step in and like, let's jump off the edge together.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be scary.
Yeah.
But isn't it worth it, the excitement, right? Isn't that worth the excitement? So, yes, sometimes you need that a little bit of fear, and sometimes you need to step out.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times, not just sometimes, you need to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, you need to go to that place
mm-hmm.
so that you can have that feeling again. And I've heard people say that, like, oh, I did this, and it made me feel like I was 16 all over again. I mean, and you see it in their face. They're all like, ooh, I was 16. And they look happy.
Yeah.
So I think every now and again, Sharon, we have to do something intentionally
mm-hmm.
to force ourselves to get to that space.
Yeah.
That feels uncomfortable, that might feel weird, that might feel a little anxious, that like might feel a little out of our comfort zone, but we have to do it like every week. We should be doing this often. Not just
No, I mean, I think it can really be the foundation piece of your life. And I think that as you, whatever it is that you're doing, like if that's not a foundation piece of your life, I mean, I think that we all have different levels of what we consider like living or success. But I know for myself personally, like that's living. Is like if I'm constantly, like it should be throughout the week or at least once a week where it's like I'm doing that thing that kind of pushes me and excites me. Like I feel like I'm always doing that thing. I'm probably, okay, I know full disclosure, I know that I tend to be like on this like other end of the spectrum where I'm like, I'm an intense person. Like I really, really intense person. But I thrive in that environment. I do really well under pressure. And so sometimes it's self-created, but it's like I do challenge myself consistently where it's like I want to feel like I'm constantly growing. I want to be the best version of myself. Right. I know that doing those things can like feed me, and that allows me to be able to show up more fully in everything else that I do. Yes. And so, and fear is part of it, and courageousness is part of that. And like you said, it is a decision, and it's something that we have to choose to lean into, choose to just like absorb and be that person. And you said like, you know, that you notice that about me, and that's how I show up and I bring it out in people. That takes a conscious decision for myself to live as a little bit of an outlier, you know? So if I'm going to show up in that way, I have to accept the fact that that's not how everyone lives. And like, so I'm there. I'm being my own energetic self and showing up fully and being like showing a little bit of the crazy. You know what I mean? And that's who I am, and that's how I choose to show up, and that's what showing up fully means to me, and that's what courageousness means to me. Like, in all honesty,
I love that. It is. It's stepping outside the norm, and I think it's really hard though. Mm-hmm. I think it's hard for people to step outside the norm. Yeah. Because when you step outside the norm, now you're no longer normal. You're no longer like everybody else.
But like none of us are.
People will question you, and people will criticize you, and people will evaluate you, and people will tell you you're crazy, and people will say, "Why are you doing that? That's stupid. Why would you want to be at a Caribbean festival, Tiffany? Like you're not even Caribbean. Like, why would you want to be at a competition, Tiffany? Why would you want to? I mean, why would you want to move out of the city that you grew up in? Why would you want to move to another state? People, number one, they're always going to question you, no matter what you do. No matter what you do.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
So why not make it an adventure? So when they question you, they're really questioning you for something that's worthwhile versus something like you just changed fingernail color or something. Yeah. Something that's not even super fun. So you have to. And I tell people, I'm like, I get it. I don't think everybody should do competitions. I don't think everybody should go and skydive and do Will Smith's bucket list. But what I do think is that you should always challenge yourself to step a little bit outside of the norm, because that truly is the excitement of life. And the more that you do it, Sharon, the more you get accustomed to doing it. Right. And the more you like it, and the more you get addicted to it, and the more you're like, I kind of like this. This is kind of fun. I kind of want to do a little bit more. I kind of want to do it a little bit more. And it becomes a habit. And that's anything that you do. But if you can make excitement and joy a habit, imagine what your life would be like. It's going to be fun. It's going to be the sparkle. It's going to be the shine. And not only will you become happier as a person, but then you start to attract those types of people to you more.
It's that high vibe. I mean, I talk about it all the time, and I know that not everyone like knows what I'm saying. But I'm like just talking about like legit, like high, like people that give up that like higher energy, higher vibration. And you are the sum of the 5 closest people to you. And so whether that is, people tend to think of that in a business sense, but honestly, like it's in all levels, right? Like we are going to be, if we are hanging out with a bunch of people who want to watch Netflix all weekend, that's what we're going to do. But if we're hanging out with people,
Game of Thrones.
And there's like nothing wrong with that either, but I think that's why we have to invite people into our life that challenge us. And I think that's something I've just been my lesson lately. That's what I like about having these like inspired conversations. I don't know what this is, but these inspired conversations is because I'm constantly growing and like changing and being aware of new things and new concepts. And so, and choosing to show up in a more full way, in a more honest way, in a more authentic way. And every time I do that, I'm just like, you guys are here for this journey. And so if it seems like I'm constantly like leveling up, it's because I am. And that's been kind of the thing for me lately, is to just like invite people and just like, you know, ask for it and say, okay, God, like I need people in my life that are going to challenge and inspire me and be high level and high vibe, and like, let's be on this journey together. And so like, I mean, that's how we connected, right? It's just that like energy was like, oh my gosh, like we are saying things the same way, but we both really do challenge each other and push each other to the point of courageousness and into the things that are a little bit scary and a little bit unknown, because we know ultimately like that's going to be like what takes us, and that's what levels us up.
That's going to take us to the next level. And it's so funny, Sharon, because when me and you met, I think I told you this, we met at an event. I wasn't supposed to sit at her table. They had assigned us tables and told us where to sit. And I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be at this table, but I'm going to sit here. And Sharon was sitting right next to me. And the moment I met her, I was like, I like you. Let's do some work. Let me get your information, because we're going to do some work together. Because I know I could feel her energy, and I could tell that it was like high flying energy. And I love that. And I was like, I want more of that. I want more of that. So yes, you have to be willing to sit at the wrong table.
Yeah.
Sit next to the people you don't think you might sit next to, or you don't look like. You have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone, step outside of your boundaries, and do the thing that scares you a little. Do the things that feel uncomfortable, because that is the only way to level up. And guys, we're going through it ourselves. Like Sharon was saying, I'm going through it right now. I'm still trying to let go out of my holding position from 3 years after a divorce. And it's tough, because it's like, now what? Now what am I doing? Now, and every day I'm learning more and more about myself, but I'm starting to realize, like, I don't have to have a plan. I don't have to have a schedule. I can live on the edge. I can have a good time. And it's great content for my blog.
Yes, I exist to give her good content.
It's great content for blog. But honestly, what I can say is, when you are in that space, it's a little bit uncertain. It's a little bit of fear.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of anxiety, but sometimes that's your most creative space. That's that space.
Well, that's where growth is happening.
Yes.
That's where growth is happening. And so that kind of parlays us right into, so we are in the mix, like we're on May 6th, we're starting our 30 days to up level your life.
Yes.
And where we're like laying it all on the table. And so we're going to be going over like meditation. We're going to be going over just a lot of personal development topics. We're going to be talking about fitness, about all of these different things that are just like, hey, here's everything we're doing to grow and be the best people that we can be, right? And what's cool about that is, because we know it starts May 6th, but legit, we're starting right now. Like, I'm committed. I'm in. So there's definitely like this whole challenge part of it. So like we've already started, and so the results that you can expect, like we're already seeing, because like once you make the decision, like honestly, once you just commit to something, even if it doesn't start right now, that's when your like vibration changes.
Yes.
That's when you start to notice the shift, because you made the decision. Like all the time we talk about like, want to do this, I want to do that, then make the decision to do so. And once you make the decision, like it's that simple, because then already things start to shift and fall into place.
Yeah, and then you become open. I think when you say yes to anything, you're saying yes to the universe. You're saying, okay, I'm willing to at least try.
Yeah.
And that's really the first step. You don't have to be all the way in. You don't have to be like, okay, I can do this. It's just, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to be open. I'm willing to at least try. And that really is the beginning. And that's where we all started. We're not people that are superhuman, that have never had to go through anything and never, like, no, that is why we are here. That is why we can create a program.
God, I'm so imperfect.
Because we've gone through so much. I have a lot of date shares. It's been 3 years.
We gotta get this girl on the same.
So it's like we've been through, but there's a lot of people who are going through the same thing. They're in a holding pattern.
Yeah.
They know something needs to change, but they just don't know what it is. And until you step into that space where you're like, I am willing to do something because I know I'm stuck. I don't know quite where to go. I'm not miserable. I'm not super unhappy, but nothing is changing. Like nothing is happening. There's nothing new. I haven't met anybody new. I'm not going on dates. I'm not doing anything new. It's the same all the way around.
Yeah.
All my friends are the same. So it's important. And it's so funny. This is bringing something up for me. I met a couple people who do this. Couples who invite people to their homes for dinner parties, right?
Yeah.
That they don't really know. And the whole concept is to get to know someone you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine being in our Facebook group
Mhm.
And Sharon, you've been all over. You've been in Alaska, you've been in Hawaii, there's people here in Atlanta, I know people in Florida. Imagine being in a Facebook group with a bunch of people from all over that are all completely different. You don't know them, you don't know their vibe, you don't know what they do, they're all diverse. And imagine the energy you can get from that.
Because the common denominator is that they all want to up level.
Yes.
And they're all attracted to the message, because the message is a message. And they're attracted, they're like, oh my gosh, like I want that. That like the thing you're talking about, that little spark, like that like unrest, that excitement. Like that's what you're talking about. It's like that's the thing where it's like, wait, I think I have that. Like, you know, I think I want something more, but I don't know what it is. And it's a little bit scary, but it's kind of exciting. And like that's what it is.
Is that?
I'm gonna get people together and do it. So that's what we're up to, you guys. So that was today. Anything more you want to add to that?
No, I just want to see everybody take the chance and just know that we are in this with you. I mean, I still have my non-date self, some hurdles to get over. I'm still working on me. We are doing this with you. We have already started. We are making the changes. We are seeing the changes, and we're up leveling ourselves. Mm-hmm. So not only are we ready to change for you, but for ourselves as well. Mm-hmm. And we want to see you change. We want to see you grow. And this is something that we're not just doing for us. Mm-hmm. We're doing it because we hear women telling us this. Yeah. We hear the stories. We hear the DMs and the text messages and the private conversations about the exact same thing. So we're here coming clean, saying, look, we're up leveling. Are you on board? Yep. Are you with us?
Are you with us? I love that.
Do this?
Yeah, because we're doing it. We're taking action. This is happening. So May 6th is going down. If you sign up now, the link is in the comments. I don't know where I'm pointing. There's like so many screens happening right now. There's somewhere. So you can click on something somewhere. And legit, you'll immediately get the grocery list and the guide. We're throwing more bonuses in there because like you said, we're already showing up. We're already high vibes. So we're just going to keep throwing stuff in there and more bonuses. Because we're there. We're starting.
And get your girl squad together. If some of you are a little like, I don't know if I can do this by myself, get your squad together. And your squad doesn't even have to be in the same state because it's all online. Mm-hmm. Have them join you. Have them, and even if they just join you to have fodder to talk about after our Facebook Live conversations that we're going to have every single week. Mm-hmm. And guys, if you like this, you're going to love it when we're together in a private group and we can really say whatever.
Because this is a whole other level. Can I just say for myself, like, you guys should see me in some of my lives in my private group. Like, it was like midnight last night, and I was looking at a hot light, and I'm like, you guys, this is what I'm doing, and I was so excited because I just couldn't wait the messages through. But that's for my private group. So that's like, you guys get this a whole nother level that happens behind the clothes.
So that's where the magic happens.
It is.
That's where the magic happens.
It is. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yes. Please comment if anything came up for you during today's little inspired conversation. Just any thoughts you have. And my challenge, I love to leave people with a challenge. My challenge to you is to like think about what is that little thing, that like excitement that's kind of welling up, or that like that piece that you're holding on to, because I know something came up for you when you were listening today. What is that? I just challenge you to think about that a little bit, meditate on it.
Sure, I'm getting ideas right now. There's some things I want to do.
You're like what?
I don't know. There's some things coming up for me, y'all. Maybe I'll let y'all know in the next weeks. I'm thinking it's a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm feeling some type of way. So a lot is coming up for me.
There's gonna be so there's gonna be some challenges involved. We got things in the works in the background, but right now that thing is just to explore that a little bit and start thinking about what can you do to level up? What can you do to be inspired? Yes. What are the things that you can do that bring you fun and enjoyment and allow you to kind of get your sparkle back? And think about, when is the last time you really felt sparkly and fun and energetic and high vibe? Because that's the way to be, right? So that's it, you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, everybody.
We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye. Finish.
Bye, YouTube. Thank you so much, YouTube. Like, I'm still learning this. This is not Sharon, because this is all me. I clearly was not prepared for YouTube today because I could have got a better camera. So thank you, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.